Welcome to our episode 191 of Double Cross Anime. So I'm Mario, and here with me is, of course, my man, Booper.
Hey, how's everybody doing in 2026?
I guess we're doing fine. I guess the world is not doing fine at the moment, but we're here
Yeah,
for
sorry
anime,
about that. I'd like
anyways.
to apologize on behalf of my country.
Well, it affects everyone now, so be responsible.
Yeah, uh, we're just going to talk about anime instead of current events because I don't think I could deal with war and stuff.
All right. Today we're talking about the last season, winter 2026, so the first quarter of 2026, and we're talking about the three shows that we pick, and I would say like maybe the top three out of the batch last seasons. Those are Frieren season 2. You and I are polar opposites,
Hmm.
and Chono with Witch.
Yeah, I hate the Journal with Witch title for Ikoku Nikki
Yeah,
because Ikoku Nikki there's no neither of those words means witch in Japanese.
I
Nikki
agree.
means
And
diary, but Ikoku is like foreign.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't mean
and
yeah, so I don't get that, but whatever.
yeah, the title also like the literal title actually tied to what one of the characters feeling. So Chono with Witch. Is there any witch in here? Is there anyone consider themselves witch in here? Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Yep.
Is Makio supposed to be a witch because she's like
Yep.
reclusive and
Mm.
I don't know, has magical writing powers or something?
No. No. I think it's just the marketing. That,
I
oh,
guess.
Chono with Witch. It's which is popular now. We just have to go with that title.
Hmm. Okay.
All right.
Well, whatever. I mean, the show did find some success, I feel, with a wider audience. You know, it's not the sort of show that you would predict to be very popular with the sort of people who watch anime for like,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
fight scenes and uh, stories about getting reborn in another world and stuff. But I think the reception was pretty good, despite the
Mm.
name, or perhaps because of it.
Yep. While we at that topic, shall we just jump right into John Woodbridge? Ikoku
Yeah,
Nikki.
I guess so. It's the first one
Yeah.
alphabetically, after all.
All right. Didn't know that, but yep. Let's
Well,
go
if
with
you go
that.
by, I always think of Frieren as Sousou no Frieren, so
I see.
to me that show starts with an S. But whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll start
Yeah.
with. I'll just say it. I'll force the words out of my mouth. We'll start with Journal with Witch.
Or we can use Japanese title Ikoku Nikki.
All right.
Right. Yep.
Did you like it?
It's a it's a beautiful show. It just like I think I will need to compare this one to the other shows in 2022 that we watched, or 2023. All right, the name escaped me at the moment.
What's it
Skip and
about?
Loafer. Skip and Loafer.
Oh, Skip and Loafer. No,
Do you feel the same vibe?
no, no. I mean, I suppose I understand the comparison because the character
Right.
writing is strong,
Yep.
but they're pretty different shows, I
All right.
feel. Ikoku Nikki is about, like grief,
Yep.
and
Yep. Yep.
that's not really a theme, I don't think, in Skip and Loafer. Um, that show's more
I
like
remember.
strictly a coming of age sort of story.
Yep. I remember there was an article in Anime News Networks that compared the two shows, and I think the title they put on the title is that how to make uninteresting characters interesting, and they obviously get like the two main characters from the two shows, and talk more about like why they are so vibrant despite that their character design, or like whatever's design are so plain. So I thought that interesting. I didn't really read into the article, but I just thought that the comparison is interesting.
I think I get that. Yeah, but I mean, Skip and Loafer is my beloved. There's no comparison.
And this one is not your beloved,
Well, I'll tell you, since you were
right?
questioning how whether I like the show and how much, I will tell you I was disappointed by the last few episodes.
I see.
After feeling like the show had a perfect batting average for most of its run, I was like, every episode, hit, 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 uh, and then when it got to the end and it started including all those little scenes about like the baseball player who quits the team
Uh,
because of hazing, and the girl who disappears from school for a while because she like has
yep,
some sort of breakdown about the sexist hiring practices
yep,
in the hospital industry, and the guy who like exchanges books with her in the library and is concerned about the fact that she is not coming to
right.
school anymore. All that stuff was like, I don't know what the show was attempting to do by touching on each of those stories for like 30 seconds per episode for the last few, but it really felt kind of meandering. I wasn't
Oh,
I didn't like that. Uh
oh, that's too bad. I think the show from start to finish, it's just perfect. It's just like they have like the emotional highlight as she like decide to sing in front of everyone, something that she have never done, something that her old self wouldn't have done it before. And like I love it,
hmm.
so I think it's end on the. And just to add to that as well, like her decision actually, like maybe affect someone or change someone in a good way, being the girl who like who been pumped out because of the sexist practice in
But
with the hospital industries. That was
right.
that.
But can you really say that Asa had any sort of impact on her? Like the scene where she is watching the concert from out the window, and then
Yeah.
after Asa's first performance, she's like says, "I witness you," and just walks off with a very like nonplussed expression on her face. I don't.
Yeah.
To me, I was
Um,
like, man, what happened? Didn't the show have
yeah.
something bigger planned for how Aso's breakout performance was going to affect someone? Because you hear
They,
her inner thoughts, and she's thinking about like what I really want to accomplish by singing like this is to change somebody's life, or affect somebody's view of the world, or something like that. And it doesn't seem to me as though she really managed to do that. Uh,
yeah. Well, there might be, but I think the point here also is the ability to reach someone, not the results of like the thing that she's done. So I think it's fine that we don't know if if gonna change that the other girl in the profound way, change her way of life or not. It's just at that particular moment she reaches her friend.
um, I mean, she gets her to like make a finger gun out the window and say a phrase in English. I don't know. I thought that was very underwhelming. Um, Now there are a couple things about the performance that I did like.
Yeah,
One is that the visual motif of the desert
yeah.
representing Asa's like
Feel like
isolation.
a loss.
Yeah,
Hmm.
out in the wake of her parents' death. That those scenes are kind of transformed over the course of these 13 episodes, from being like completely barren to
Hmm.
at the very end there being an oasis there.
Yeah,
Like a pool of water and some vegetation, and the one of the last shots we get of that concert scene is a shot from behind Asa and the upperclassman who plays the guitar, where they're like sitting on a bench on one side of the pool, and on the other side are all of her classmates who are watching her. So it's kind of as like visually, it's kind of as if in that moment they are a part of her journey, which is what I would prefer. like rather than Asa impacting someone else's life in some sort of non-specific way. The fact that everyone is witnessing a step that she herself is taking is more important, and I think that Oasis, visualization is effective there.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
thing I would say is that the final scene of the episode, the 10-year flash forward to Asa and Emily catching up
Yeah.
over like lunch. Emily remembers the performance and says, "Yeah, everyone thought you were so good." And Ayaka, she makes reference to Ayaka, which I think is the name of the girl that Emily has the crush on, who we
Right.
see her
Right.
with
Right.
her from like time to
Uh-huh.
time.
Yeah.
The fact that she says Ayaka was like really moved by your performance, or she really loved it, or something like that. Um, you know, it was memorable at least. So that's nice that they
Yeah.
tie that into that flash forward at the end. But I still wanted something more. But the show at least, it
Uh,
it wasn't a totally empty gesture.
yeah. All right. If there's something that I would say that the show a bit gross on the ending by like fast forwarding them to 10 years after, which I don't think I think it make kind of like closer to them. Like now they're looking back to their 10 years younger self, but a bit gross for me. Like yeah. Apart from that, though, I think the show pacing was really, really well done. But I think the most part that I remember, the most memorable part that I remember out of the whole thing is that the characters and their chemistries, they are really, really good.
Yeah, well, I
Do you
I
want me to?
suppose I suppose I agree.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of characters though, and this show is very like conversational. Um,
Yeah.
who are you thinking of in particular?
I'm thinking of the main two characters, for example. So, Asa and Makio, they are so different in characters, in personality. So one of them is, like one one of them is very bubbling. The other one is more like antisocial. But I think most of all is about the team as well, because Asha, like after the loss of her parents, she feel like, I think she always afraid of being lonely, and Makio is like the one who prefer lonely. So be able to see the very different perspective, and be able to like uh, get on with that, and like become stronger out of that. Is that this is basically the whole journey that we witness.
I witness you.
We Ooh, pun not
Yeah,
intended.
I there's a lot of interesting, back and forth between Asa and Makio. They kind of start off after, in episode 1, which we covered 3 months ago when we did our winter first
uh,
impressions episode.
yeah.
They kind of start off on a pretty good foot, perhaps because they're not super familiar with each other and they're afraid of stepping on each other's toes. But as they become more familiar, they become more comfortable saying how they really feel, and what Asa really feels after a while of living with Makio is that she is like disorganized and she's cold and she's not attentive to Asa's needs. And there's a lot of like rebellion that you see from Asa. There's the episode where she skips school, um,
Mm,
not for any particular reason, I don't think. She's just dealing with a lot of anger at the fact that her parents left her behind, and
yeah.
like the potential unreliability of the journal that her mom left for her.
Mm,
We see her several times like say to herself or think to herself, how can I really trust, these words that my mom left behind? Like she's dead now.
mm,
This isn't any comfort to me, and she could have, thought one thing and written another.
yep. Yep.
So there, in response to all like those feelings, Asa skips school. There's also an episode where there's a trust, I guess, that's set up for her, like a financial trust with her parents' money in it that she can access, and she
Mm,
spends like 300,000 yen on a MacBook
Oh,
so she can make music. And when Makio is alerted to the fact that so much money is missing by the lawyer character, that results in like a rift in their relationship.
It's, was
So
it? All right.
yeah, doesn't it?
I remember that scene, and I remember as I just come forward right away, just say like, yeah, sorry, this Monday for me to bought the laptop for the music, and I don't think there pretty much like anything follow up on that, like there was any tension between the two after that.
Hmm.
Just me though.
I remember that was episode 5, and I remember that kind of being stressful for Makio.
Mm.
She has to like run around and arrange meetings with people and to try to figure out why the money is gone, because initially the lawyer thinks that she was the one who withdrew the money, and Asa kind
All
of
right.
comes forward sheepishly. It's not they're not both like smiling and shaking hands as they come to as they figure out exactly what happened.
All right. In any case, this show feature a lot of other characters as well, as you mentioned. So we got like Makio friends. We got
Mhm.
the single who was her ex and have an on and off relationship, and we got like some of these others that Asha like eventually get to meet them as well, like her friend Nana, and yeah, we got like the whole bunch out of as a classmate as well. Some of them you mentioned before, and now that I think about that, they don't really have that much screen presence.
Yeah.
Even like the baseball guy, I don't even know if they have like any relationship with us.
Nope.
Despite or except that they are classmates. I don't even know if they talk to each other. But
Yeah. It's it
yeah.
was pretty
But
strange.
as our best friend Emery though, we got a few like a few development from her, and I like these developments.
Yeah, have you so I assume you remember the episode where Emily, who was in the habit of coming over to Makio's apartment to visit
Mm-hmm.
Asa. And
Mm-hmm.
in fact, in
Yeah,
that
that
flash forward we were talking about earlier, that's like kind of the how it ends is
yeah.
Asa calls up Makio and says, "We're gonna." And Emily says, she kind of leans in and says into the speaker of the phone, "We're coming over," uh,
Yeah, yeah,
which I thought was kind of fun because it's
yeah,
like they're recapturing their youth, I guess.
yeah.
In episode 6, that's one of the ones where Emily visits, and I think Makio catches on to the fact that Emily is gay, because
Oh, right.
she
Yeah, yeah.
recommends. What'd you say?
The book. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, she
No,
recommends
no,
a
no, no. I
movie.
think.
She
All
may
right.
actually
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
recommend her a book as well. I kind of remember that too. But she recommends her a
Mm.
movie that has the word tomatoes on the cover. So I went to Google and I
Uh,
was like, "What is an LGBTQ movie with like called Tomatoes?" And
I, I. All right. I
do you
know the
know the
films.
movie?
I know the movies. I
Okay.
know the movies.
Have you seen
All
it?
right. You
Fried
got.
green
You got.
tomatoes?
That's the one. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand from that movie is that they have like it's a one big story, and they tell several short stories within the movies, and I would say that one of these story is maybe about that.
Okay.
About like someone feeling not belong uh, to the world they live in. So
Right.
very
Which would
interesting
be
because I recognize the poster right away, and I
okay.
was like, "Ooh, I see what you did here." Yep,
Yeah, when
I will watch it though.
I didn't recognize it at all, but I could tell that it was an intentional reference. So I looked it up, and I have to imagine that the reason Makio recommended it to her is because she based on the questions
Mm.
that Emily was asking her, because she was annoyed by Asa's constant asking about like
The boy.
boyfriends and relationships and her obsession with receiving chocolate on Valentine's Day. in episode 12. You know, that's like a kind of a through line is that Amity is like, Asa, shut up about
yeah,
like boyfriends and stuff. I don't care. I'm not talking about that with you. But
yeah,
Amity asks Makio like questions about relationships and all that. She's interested in a different perspective, you know, from somebody who not in her cohort, you know, her age range, I
yeah,
guess. And I think Makio catches on to the fact that I'm pretty sure that's why she would
yeah,
recommend that movie. I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
assume
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
that she has a sense for the fact that like she has a strong gaydar, I guess.
Which is a good thing, you know. Like this is something that Emery cannot, you know, tell anyone. Yeah,
Right.
for, at that age, she cannot tell her parents about that. Obviously, she cannot tell Asa about that. So you know, like there's someone who catches on and you know, like give her the guidance. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think that's something that's Emery herself is appreciate out of Makio as well. Um, I just love the you know, like at first when Emery come to Makio house, she's a bit wary. She just you know like trying to do all of these you know like normal stuff like you know like present and all that, and Makio just shut it down to say like I don't need any present.
Right.
I don't do this stuff. Uh, and lead to you know like till the end of the series where you know like Emily just you know like casually comes in the house and you know like even like have her own conversation with Makio, and like you said 10 years later she just like very casually, hey, we going to your house, you know, no need permission at all, you know. Just let her know that we coming.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
that
love
is
that.
that's kind of why I liked the flash forward ending.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm.
because those were the three most interesting characters in the show: Asa and Makio and Emity, at least to me.
Yeah.
And so the fact that all three of them
Single.
were, oh, you mean Kasamachi?
Yeah, Kesamachi.
Yeah, I tend to refer to anime characters the way that other people in the show refer
Yeah,
to them.
yeah,
You
no,
know,
fair enough.
so uh, I mean, does she call him? They are in a relationship, Makio and Kasamachi. Does she call him Shingo? I think she still calls him
uh,
Kasamachi, but I don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
they're pretty formal, so
Right.
I would say yeah,
I mean, he's kind of interesting, but I'll tell you what. Well, I won't. I actually won't get
yeah,
into it. I was about to say one thing about like one particular conversation that he had towards the end of the show that I was like, "What the hell is
tick you
this?"
off.
Yeah, but it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. In general, yeah, I think he was a pretty interesting character. The
Yeah,
more than him as an individual, I think the relationship between him and Makio, the way that
yeah,
they like rekindled their romance, and in particular, I'm sure you know the scene that I'm about to talk about, the one where they're on the park bench at night,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
talking about like the how they broke up and what it would mean for them if they got back together and whether it would be fair to both of them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
was that I thought was incredible,
Uh huh.
because anime just never, you know, first of all, it does not care about adults in general, and when it does, it doesn't care about romance between adults, and when it does,
Yeah.
it's not as, you know, like well thought out as that scene was. So that was just
Yeah.
that was pretty special, I think.
Yeah. And on the same topic as well, Makio conversations with Emery's mom. I really enjoyed this conversation as well. So you know like they Emery's mom is obviously when Asha come to the other person house, she wanted to know who is the caretaker of Asha. So that's why she tried to you know like get to know Makio. So they have like a a meeting and a conversation together where I actually think they get along well. But you know Makio just show her that you know I am different from my sisters. Uh, and then I think like towards the end they have like another meeting together where they just like more of like casually talking about each other. I just love these conversations. I actually like I enjoy most of the conversation in this show.
Yeah, well, that's most of what it has to offer, I think. It's not very plot heavy, as you can kind of tell from the presentation style, where it will touch on a little subplot for a minute and then just leave it and not touch it again until the next episode.
What do you think about like the feeling of grief in particular from Asa, and what she struggled through throughout like the whole series?
Well, uh, one thing that I like about it, I suppose, is that there is not an individual breakthrough moment.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I have my disappointments with the way that some storylines did not like properly resolve
Hmm.
or reach any sort of turning point or climax. But you know, getting over the death of your parents is not a straightforward
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
So the fact that Asa is, you know, she has her moments of rebellion, and you know, she has her fight with Emity
Hmm.
in episode 2 because
Yeah.
Emity and her mother, I guess it's Emity's mother, who like informs the school of what happened,
Hmm.
the reason for Asa's absence, and they tell all of her classmates. She has to work through that and the discovery of her mother's journal, and the fact that Makio does not immediately alert her of the existence of that journal, so she feels betrayed there.
Hmm.
Um, I just like that there are setbacks on her, you know, her processing of what happened to her. She's angry at her parents for abandoning her as well.
Yeah.
And there are flashbacks to like the fact that her dad was kind of uninvolved
Hmm.
in raising her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
He
you know,
he was a
more than just Asa
yeah.
processing the her grief about her parents' death. I think the exploration of her parents' relationship
Hmm.
and Minori, which I think is her mom's name, her own feelings of like failure and inferiority because she she didn't have a quote unquote normal life.
Hmm.
Like she didn't get married. Um, you know, it kind of mirrored her own like, why can't you do this? Why can't you do something so normal?
Hmm.
Her own self criticism about that, what you know, what she viewed as a failure, kind of mirrors the way that she talked to Makio, or the memories that Makio has of her sister talking to her. Like,
Hmm.
why can't you just be normal? Why are you,
Yeah.
you know, so disorganized, and why are you so like withdrawn and everything? I think you know, it wasn't all about Asa processing what happened to her parents.
Hmm.
Every character had a little, you know,
Contribution.
arc.
Yeah. 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 I love the fact I I think I do love the fact that there is no really big emotional slash outs compared to like many other shows that we watch, but we can see like like shut up like uh, like anguish from Asha from time to time as she tried to keep like things normal. She just like sometimes it just slip out, and I think it's very natural the way that they show that. And like also like Makio observing the fact that as like one of her defense mechanism when dealing with the loss of her parents is that she just tend to sleep a lot. And
Yeah.
I love that, like that actually just broke me. It just like um, I think Makio framed it as like tending her wound, and I couldn't find like another expression better than that. It just see obviously like in like depressed, and like with guidance it just and it's not getting better as well, so like it just feels very real. And like the her chance is gradual, but like at the end we can see like get like get over that. And yeah, I just feel that it's a really deep theme. I always have a thing about a show dealing with grief, and this one is like one of the show that deal with that topic very very delicately.
Hmm. It's not blunt.
Yeah, no,
You know,
no,
I'll give it that.
right.
If sometimes it feels kind of circular. It
Mhm.
kind of dances around the what Asa is really feeling or what Makio is really feeling. There sometimes especially from Makio's end, the conversation can be, you know, uh, she can be sort of cagey and elusive.
Mm.
I remember in episode 13, the finale, a lot of what Makio says to Asa is like, I don't know. She's talking about the fact that people don't actually spend their time for the sake of others, and you'll never
Ah,
be able to change their heart or their actions.
yeah. I remember that.
And you, even if you try something that's going to be futile, it's the fact that you've tried it in the first place that makes it so precious.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel. At the closer the show got to its conclusion, I didn't really know how to feel about the fact that so much of the dialogue was like lofty in that way. You would figure that, you know, as Makio and Asa got more comfortable with one another, that some of that pretension would evaporate, and you would be left with more natural dialogue. But I don't know if we ever really got there, because the show is just has so many ideas that it wants to
Yeah. I
present.
I do think that it's just Michael way of saying, and it just like maybe it her her real thinking, like when she tried to get that onto Asha, it just she really think that way, and she really tell her like that unfiltered, but of course it's always come across as very very negative. Well,
Yeah, she's. I would say she's cynical.
yeah, a good cynical though.
But if you were to tell her,
Yep.
hey Makio, you're pretty cynical, then she would go on a big long speech about how
Yeah.
what does cynicism even mean?
Yeah. True.
You know,
Yeah.
and Asa, in that same episode, the finale, she like confronts her and says, why do you always talk to me this way? Like, why do you only use complicated words when you're talking to me? Because I've heard you talk to your friends and you don't do the same thing. And then, of course, Makio has some sort of justification for that. It's, I'd say she's like a guarded character.
Mm.
Because, some of the conversations that she and Asa have about, like, emotions
Yeah.
involve Makio saying, my emotions are my own business,
Mm.
and nobody else gets to know what they are or interfere with them.
Mm.
I don't know how to feel about that exactly.
Well. Yeah. Well, it's just her way, and it's not like her extreme way, like shape Asha or personality in any way. It's just like to provide Asha a different perspective, and like sometimes she get to understand the other side of the thinking. Sometimes she start to understand, like starts to feel more as well. So yeah, I think it's still good enough. It's a good influence from Makio to Asha.
Well, she did take her in when she was an orphan.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
true.
that by itself is pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other notes before we can? I think we can go to the next show.
Yeah, I've got tons. I took tons of
Yeah.
notes
Cool.
on this show. I mean, one thing that I will say,
Mm.
is I really liked some aspects of the show's presentation.
Right.
For example, in episode 2, there is Asa and Makio are making gyoza, and they're using chopsticks to eat them, I think, at one point, or even perhaps to like put them together and to cook them.
Mm.
But Makio asks Asa, "So what did your mom put in? If these fillings that we're using are not what you're accustomed to, how did your mom make gyoza? What did she put in them?"
Mm.
And you see Asa with her chopsticks in hand. It cuts to an image of her holding a question mark with her chopsticks
Mm-hmm.
because she's not sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in, I don't know, in episode 4, there was, like, at this point, Makio has brought up the potential healing power, I guess, or catharsis or whatever of keeping her own journal.
Yeah.
And so there's a moment where Kasamachi comes over and is like introducing himself to Asa. And I can't remember exactly how the scene plays out, but there's like a little kind of title card taped to the frame, essentially. And the implication is that it's part of Asa's journal. And it has, what's written on it has something to do with her like impression of Kasamachi, like what kind of person she thinks he is. And then she burns herself on the stove, and one of the corners of this little title card from the paper of her journal gets a little burn on it because she's just burned herself on the stove. Especially towards the beginning of the show, there were these little kind of quirky presentational oddities, that I thought were really cool, and they kind of disappeared as the show went on.
Right.
So I assume that has to do with who the episode directors were. But I just thought those were neat.
Yeah, I did really pick those up as well. So thank you for mentioning that. Those are pretty cool though.
A lot of what I liked about the show came towards the beginning, if I'm being honest.
Right.
But as like as late as episode 10, I think I would say, oh man, this show's just fantastic. And
just a last episode that you didn't like. No, not the last 2 episodes. The last 3 episodes actually.
Yeah, the last few.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a very good show.
Yeah.
I was just expecting it to be like incredible all the way through, because it kind of set me up to believe that it would be.
Yeah.
And it's just my personal opinion that it kind of trailed off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sure that this is a show that people will remember even by the time we get to the end of the year. I don't think people are going to forget about it too easily.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget about this one. All right. Shall we go to the next show?
Sure.
Let's go with the totally opposite show then. You and I are the polar opposites.
The polar opposite show.
Yeah, the polar opposite
Yeah.
show. All right, this show.
Yeah, so I would say
Yeah.
this is the best show of the season, in my
Wow.
opinion.
All right. This is my least favorite out of the 3 shows that we watch.
All right.
But yeah, not to say that this is the worst or anything. We watching like three pretty good shows for this season. Right off the bat though, this show remind me a hell lot of Horimiya.
Oh, this show's better than Horimiya, dude.
This show is better than Horimiya, but I think the structure is kind of the same. So like this, we got like the two who, like, who are different in personality, who you would think, or like everyone else would think that they are not supposed to, like, to be together, but I think because of the opposite attraction they get to each other, and then they the show actually just explore like their relationship, all of these ups and downs, and then they explore some of the sky characters as well. Most of them will
Right.
be pairing with like another characters, so that we got like the whole web of romance.
Yeah, I have to say, Horimiya did not invent that.
I agree, I agree, I agree.
I mean, that's like that's classic, uh, like rom-com manga
Yep,
formula.
yep, 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 yep.
I think that probably dates back decades.
Agreed.
And I like that Polar Opposites is so, I don't know, it's so energetic,
Yep,
but
yep.
at the same time, its characters, many of its characters are not energetic. Like they don't share, their personality does not match the show's tone.
Mm,
Um, and the fact that they are not on the same page as everybody else means that their relationships with other characters are more interesting.
mm,
Like Suzuki and Tani's relationship is just so, I just find them so fun.
mm, mm.
Uh, the fact that Tani is so serious, but he's like adept enough to understand when like the moment is for him to express himself, I guess.
Right.
I'll Here's an example. I really liked the class trip
Yep,
episodes. Those would be 11 and 12.
yep.
Speaking of presentation, like the little
10 and 11, sorry.
bits of
10,
what's that?
10.
Oh
Yep,
yes, yes, you're right. I was thinking that 11 and 12 were the penultimate
right, right.
episodes, and that 13 was the last. But that's Ikoku Nikki.
Yep.
This show, you're correct, ends with episode 12. So 10 and 11 is the class trip, and I really liked the title cards for each different day
All right, yep, yep, yep.
of all the different days of the class trip. Because at first it was I can't remember what the first day was, but for day 2 it was group activities, and then for day 3 class activities, and day 4 was free time.
Yep.
I just remember there's like a conversation between Suzuki and Tani when she's come out of the bath, and she like has her hair down, and she actually I think puts on some sort of like beauty product after the bath because she wants to look her absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
And she and the other girls have like a little conversation about that, but then she spots Tani and she thinks, oh, this could finally be like the moment where we take our relationship to the next level.
Yep, yep.
And he instead like expresses thankfulness rather than being trying to find a little corner of the hotel where they can make out or whatever.
Mm.
He expresses thankfulness for having met her and broadened his social horizons as a result.
Yeah.
I just find there are like little surprises in their relationship and how they talk to one another that really delighted me.
Yeah. Oh, I love the fact that Suzuki, she just very expressive, and I think the show really nailed it on like putting like different expression out of her, like it's just so memeable. It's just so great to
Yeah,
watch.
like turning her into a cloud or
Yeah.
doing crazy stuff with her, like her cheeks or
Yeah, or even like
deforming her character.
yeah,
You know.
or even like like the thing of her hairs. She have like two little like uh pops of hairs, and sometimes
Right.
they would like stick out when she was
Right.
surprised or something. It's not inventive or anything, but it's just really fun to watch. And
Yeah.
and
Yep.
they're just a host of like other cast who like, well, as we get to know them, we get to see their personality, and eventually how they like how they grow out of their normal self as well. So we got like Yamada, who is like the boy who is very outgoing and not that deep, but like the more that he attract to that the other girl, I think her name is
Nishi.
uh, you see that he more observant than he always lets out, and like his personality actually drove Nishi to be more more outgoing and more active as well.
Yeah, man, I really liked the date that they went on in the final episode to Chinatown.
And the fact that they have to run away because they see Suzuki and Tani there.
Right. And there was the classic like VHS rewind
Yeah,
back to the start of the date, and then we follow it from the other couple's perspective.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's a staple
yeah,
right there.
mm,
That's like a chick flick staple.
yeah. And then
Uh,
there are others characters as well. So you know like we got like just heaps of the developments here.
yeah, the I would say Azuma and Taira were my least favorite
All right.
of the three
Mm.
couples. Um, I remember in particular, you know how they go bowling, I think, in like episode 8
Yep.
with a whole bunch of with their extended friend group, and I
Yep.
really did like how their friend group
Crow.
felt like all the characters liked each other and kind of belonged
Right. Mm-hmm.
to one big like clique
Yep.
or whatever.
Mm.
It wasn't just three individual couples and a couple like seventh wheels,
Mm. Mm.
who the show kind of bundled together as a package and made you like put them all together and said, now you have to watch all of them in a scene together. It really felt like they were all friends.
Mm.
Like from the visits to Tyra when he was working at the convenience store,
Yep.
to a little scene where Azuma went shopping with the two girls who were not part of a couple,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Nabe and I can't remember the other one's name.
Yep.
And then they sent a photo of their like shopping trip
Mm.
to Suzuki,
I love that one.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just so pleased by
And
the fact that all the characters felt like friends.
and it just right after the fact that they are decide who go into the group, and Azuma just thinking to herself that she's see the odd one out, so that she asked
Right.
Suzuki to I'm not gonna join in your club, and Suzuki reaction was priceless as well. She just say yep, and then and then she asked the teacher if they can have a group of 4.
Right.
Yeah, and but that comes right after like Azuma just feel like like I'm a friend of Suzuki, and Suzuki is the best friend of the other 2 girls, so we have nothing like in common. I just gotta like stick around, and then Azuma just see the other 2 girls, and they actually hit off really well. So
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah, that was really refreshing to me because there are so many anime about like characters who can't make friends or characters who want to make 100 friends or characters who
yeah,
like break down in social situations and stuff.
right,
And it was nice to watch a show where even characters who are nervous and don't do well with new people or crowds or whatever
Mm.
can still function, and the show can tell a story about them as though they're human beings and not
yeah, yeah,
robots who don't have the friendship programming in their hard drive.
yeah.
Because I'm kind of sick of that, to be honest.
I agree with you that Azuma and Tyra ship is my least favorite out of the 3. I think because they are not actually confess their feeling to each other, so we don't get to see them hanging out and try to figure out the stuff like Suzuki or Tani or Yamada and Nishi do. But as a characters itself, I actually really enjoy Azuma as a characters.
Okay, what did you like about her?
She she always have the vibe of I'm experienced all of this, and I'm outgrow all of that. So she the kind of like the detachment type. She not really belong to any of the group because she want to have the distance. But as as the show goes on, she actually kind of like more open up, and she more maybe honest to her feeling a little bit more. So she enjoy herself a little bit more. So
The show does make a point of
yep,
her, depicting her laughing
yeah,
a lot more, like in the class trip,
yep, yep, yep.
during the class trip, and maybe even episode 12 as well.
Mm.
Her laughing at like something that Tyra would do or say,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to kind of plant the idea in your head that she might have like a little crush on him, without necessarily needing to have her monologue that internally. So that's I guess I'm kind of I like that idea
Mm.
that she is the fact that she's kind of negative. Like I remember one of the things that's most memorable about her in the early episodes is she said that like her previous boyfriend got locked up in juvie
Yeah.
in juvenile detention.
Yeah.
She does kind of have the whenever Suzuki is like, oh, everything's just wonderful. I love my relationship with Tani. Um, everything's great, and then Azuma would be like, ah, you're just so young and pure and uncorrupted.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait till you get on my level.
Yeah. Not bad.
Um, the bowling thing that I was mentioning earlier,
Yeah.
Azuma and Taida live in the same neighborhood, so they take the same train like to school,
Uh,
and they take the same train back from this bowling
yep.
um,
Yep. Yep.
outing. And there's a conversation where Tyra tells her that her old friends from their middle school were like treating her like garbage,
All right. You're right.
and she should get angry. Like she shouldn't be so detached. She should allow herself to feel angry at what they did to her. I would say that is part of the reason why I like them the least.
Right.
Because I like
I.
I don't really agree.
All right. I.
I'm not saying that you should refuse to process what happened to you, or, but I don't know. I think the show was framing it as he was really valuing her as a person by telling her that, and I don't think that's what that signifies exactly.
Right. I remember that scenes where after the bowling and Tyra and Azuma meet some of these friends from middle school, and yeah, so after that they have the conversation, and Azuma just say that the reason I recognize them, and the reason why I don't want to talk to them is because this guy, number one, is my ex. Number three, we have we had some kind of like special bonding, but not really a but not really a boyfriend girlfriend stuff.
They weren't official.
Not officials. And then two and four is their girlfriend at the moment. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
So they are in the relationship at the moment. So I think really awkward. And then she also keep mentioning like the other girl though. I met her in the toilet, and it was actually a very pleasant conversation. So
Yeah, but Tyra is not. He doesn't like agree
Yeah.
that it was a pleasant conversation. He
Mm.
he thinks that the girls are just kind of walking all over her
Yeah.
by being friendly with her and not acknowledging
Mm.
the history that Azuma had with
these boys.
their exes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. That didn't sit right with me.
Alright.
That whole scene.
There's one other characters that I really like to see more of, and maybe the second season gonna fix that. That's
The teacher.
no Nishi's best friend Honda.
Oh yeah, the one who's always like sucking her lips over her teeth.
Yeah, just
Make that weird expression to prevent herself from laughing.
yeah. I want to see more of her. Oh boy.
Yeah, she's interesting. You need a character like that because Nishi is not super expressive.
No.
So
Right.
she needs somebody to talk to get those thoughts and feelings out.
She not super expressive, or she not super observant as well. I think both Yamada and Nishi is not really that observant. So that I have Honda who the one who see all the side, and just she need to haven't really acting to that. So we sometimes we see it from her point of view as well.
Yeah, she's a neat character. I think in general, most of the characters are
Yeah.
pretty good.
Right.
I liked Suzuki's parents,
Oh,
who
right.
Tani gets to meet when he comes over to their house.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that Suzuki also meets Tani's mom, or no, his grandmother.
Grandma.
She comes over to his house on like a rainy day or something,
Yeah.
thinking that there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And it turns out his grandma is there, and she gives Suzuki a whole bunch of like vegetables.
Yeah. Love them.
Which I thought was
Yeah.
that was such a grandma thing to do.
Yeah, sure. love the fact that
make sure everybody's fed.
yeah, love the fact that Suzuki and Tani's their relationship, they actually were open about their relationship. You know, they don't talk, they don't announce that they are in a relationship, but when everyone asks them, "Are you two are together?" They always, you know, acknowledge that, so there's no shame in that.
Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it because I think this show is kind of anti-shame.
Right.
There was a particular, I don't know, I guess maybe you would call it social commentary or something.
Uh huh.
And it came around the time of the Culture Festival, where one of like a boy that Suzuki had like something going on with, but they weren't
Oh, right, right,
actually
right. Yeah,
dating.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Rihito was his name.
yeah.
Um, and that whole storyline where she was kind of concerned about the fact that she was worried that Tani would be jealous, which he was, but she was also worried about like whether she was pure or not, because that's like a loan word
Hmm.
from English, pure, that you hear in
Yeah.
anime sometimes.
Yeah.
And the conclusion that she comes to after thinking about it for a while and being nervous about Tani's interpretation of all that is, so what? So what if there was a guy who like exists in your past? You don't have to be ashamed of that, whether he was your boyfriend or he wasn't, or no matter how far the two of you got in the past. What's important is that you're dedicated to the person you're currently with.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very refreshing
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of anime series they do fixate on like purity,
Mm-hmm.
especially for female characters. So, the fact that Suzuki just said to herself, and I think Azuma, who was with her at the time, like who it doesn't matter. What's important is that I am with Tani now, and he's the one that I want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a few good shows for sure. Really good production as well. I just feel that the
Yeah.
animation are just fantastic. Just all the characters' expression, all their movement. You know, like when Nishi and Yamada just run out of Suzuki and Tani because they saw them in the dead. You know, like their movement
Yeah.
it's just so great, and
Yeah.
I love the fact that Yamada was like, oh, Nishi, she runs so fast. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's true.
Mm,
You know, a lot of people place a premium on uh, animation in action series. But animation is very important, like across the board,
mm.
but also in helping to sell a joke,
Yep, yep, yep.
comedy in general. You can't just have a character tell a joke with like some lip flaps on screen, and then reaction faces from the people who they're telling the joke to. It's way more involved than that. You really do.
Yep.
Animation is super important. I remember, because I've been like reading anime blogs and stuff for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a particular school of thought that animation was like not really that important in anime.
Wow.
What matters is like the story and the characters, and if a show just kind of looks super choppy, that doesn't really impact that doesn't have an effect on the show's impact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the best way to phrase it, but I just remember seeing that idea kind of proliferate through people like amateur anime critics would say stuff like that, and I'd be like, huh?
Yeah. But
What do you mean?
yeah, but on the other spectrum, there are those who really emphasis on like anime production and all the animation and stuff, and just disregard like the quality of writing. So like we have to
Yeah.
be somewhere in the middle where like is it we have to make more of the effort to see if the quality of the animation actually complement the quality of the writing as well, which is something
Right.
that the show does really well.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say Ikoku Nikki the same for that show.
Yeah, agree.
I remember when I was previewing it, I was like, okay, so this is like a prestigious manga. It's been up for awards, but what are the visuals going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. I was kind of I was kind of assuming going into it that it wasn't going to be particularly well animated,
Mm.
but it actually was.
Yeah.
The character animation, I mean, it wasn't stellar
Mm.
or anything, but it was very effective across the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
so I was impressed by that for Journal with Witch.
Yeah. All right. And the other notes that you have for the show before we move on to the next one.
I mean, I guess we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah. All right. The last question for you though. Is Suzuki the best girls of this host season?
I don't do best
All
girl
right.
type stuff, man. She's probably my favorite character.
All right. All right. Yep. All right.
I
That
guess I like the teacher,
you like
Goto Sensei.
right the one who lazy who don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, he has a line in episode 10, the first episode of the class trip to Kyoto,
Uh-huh.
where he's like, as long as it gets done, I don't care how it gets done. I can relate to that, dude. Just let me just get through my day however I can and get home and be free.
Okay.
I feel that.
Okay. I think there is yeah. All right. We can go to the other shows if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. Let me do the getaway. So speaking of going on the date, we have another show that have two characters going on a date.
That's right.
And that one is the second season of Frieren. This is
Right.
all right. As a whole, though, I think it's very short. It's just 10 short episode. Not short, but it just compared to the first season where we have like 26, 20,
It was 28 episodes.
28 episodes. Now we just have like one
10.
110. No, it's not 110. All right. Now we just like less than half of that. So
Yeah.
Frieren second season. What you feel in general?
It's hard for me to say, not because I mean it was good. I thought
Yeah.
it was fine.
Uh-huh.
But the reason I was hesitating is that I don't have a good memory, and I mean because this season was only 10 episodes long.
Uh-huh.
The fact that I don't have a strong memory of a couple of them makes me feel like I missed a big chunk.
Right.
I don't remember episodes 2 and 3 very well.
2 and 3. All right. What we have. 2 is about the hero of the South. So it's about her remembering the guy, the one hero who actually can see the future. And he said to Frieren, he asked her to join him to the journey, and he also told her about his predicament, which saying that there's gonna be one hero who saved the day, not him, and he tried his best to like clean up the path for that hero. So I think that's the bunch
Right.
of like the hero of the South.
Okay.
What happened in episode 3?
How does that tie into the fact that Frieren has to like retrieve the family, like the legendary sword or whatever of a particular influential family? Do you remember that?
I remember that. I think it's two different stories, right?
Okay. And then episode 3 is a complete. I remember there's a hot spring scene where they like soak their feet
Right,
or something.
Right.
But I don't remember anything about why they went there or.
Right, they longing for the hot spring. So when they get into one village, the villagers say that the hot spring already ran out. There is one in like in a very dangerous path that maybe not worth going to, but they decided to go anyway. Especially Stark, who wanted to go, and then they have to kill, I think, the dragons or something.
Yeah, I thought that there were dragon slaying scenes in other
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, yeah.
So I was wondering whether I was mistaking
There,
whether my memory of episode 3 was mistaken and there wasn't actually a dragon. But I remembered there being a dragon, at least I
all
thought
right.
that they had to.
There was another dragon. I think in this, maybe in this episode, I'm not sure, but there was another dragon with like three heads, and they you have to cut the three head at the same times, and they was more like a lizard type rather than like this dragon can fly or anything. I think they mentioned about that.
Okay.
In any
So they
case,
do all that just so they can get to the hot spring and have like a relaxing
right,
time.
and they do all
Is that it?
that because Stark also know that the hot spring is very shallow, so that they can only dip their feet in there. But because it's from the memory his
Oh,
of
that's
his
right.
master, saying that this is like
Right.
the scene that he he would never forget. So that's why Stark wanted to like have the three of them just go through the game.
Okay, that's right. I do remember liking episode 3 a lot, but I couldn't tell you why.
Right, right, right.
But I think the link between Stark wanting to visit that place and who is the dwarf? Is his name Eisen?
Eisen. I think Eisen.
Okay. Yeah. The link between Stark and Eisen in that scene I thought was a nice switch up because there are so many episodes, and in fact in this second season there are so many episodes of Frieren remembering something that Himmel
Yep.
did.
Yep, 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 yep.
To the point that multiple episodes had that exact same structure, and I was like, I mean, I get that that's kind of the theme of the show is that she's thinking back on the
Yep,
his life
yep,
and sort of paying it forward by going on this journey
yep.
with younger people. She's acting sort of as the hero to them that Himmel was to her a little bit. But it's just so familiar, the fact that Frieden is always thinking back on her memories of Himmel. So the fact that they switched it up and it was Stark and Eisen
Yep.
in episode 3, I remember being,
Yep. I
I remember appreciating that.
Yep. I do kind of like the second episode as well because they just shed a light on another hero. Like maybe a forgotten hero because no one except for that place really know about him. So just a good mix up, a good change of pace for me.
Mm.
And
Okay.
yeah, and then we get
What about the date, though?
not sure, not
Oh, no. What was that sound?
I I mean like I don't really get why they want to ship Fern and Star together. I know that they are on the same age. I know that they have difficulty express their feelings, but maybe it's best not to put them two together. Or whatever. It's a whatever part for me. I feel right.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I kind of agree. I thought the date episode was, I mean, it was fine,
Yeah.
but I have to imagine that there were a lot of people who went crazy for it,
All right.
who were like, yes, they're meant to be together.
All right.
And I really didn't feel that that it was particularly memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, the show always looks fantastic, so
Yeah.
that was nice. The how picturesque the date was, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
it didn't leave a big impression on me.
I actually blame me for this. I actually have a very bad memory of all of these characters. So the moment that they meet the two, like the two first class mage, Method and
Genau.
Gnaus. Actually, at first I don't even remember, like who they are. I know that they passed the exam last season. I just don't kind of not remember their personality nor their, like not their skills at all. Like
Okay.
even now I don't really know method how she passed the exam last season. In any case, though, uh,
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not going to hold that against you because I also don't remember stuff like that. But I recognized the characters right away. Genau was he was one of the proctors of the exam. He didn't take the test.
yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah,
already
yeah.
a first class mage.
Oh, he didn't take
And
the test.
Methode was,
Oh,
yeah, no, he was one of the teachers.
I see.
And
I thought he was a guy who like have doppelgangers who joined who joined the test.
I don't believe so.
No, all right, right, yep, yep, yep. Okay, that makes more
I mean,
sense.
I could be wrong, but
I remember the other guy maybe have glasses, so I think I might be the one who wrong. Any case,
guy who had glasses. Are you talking about Denken,
eh,
who we see in episodes 9 and 10 as a lead up to the Golden Land arc?
I don't think so. The other guy have like a very stern expression as well. He doesn't express much, and he kind of like a very sly guy who like have a doppelgangers who join the test, who do everything without anyone noticing it. So he actually pretty good.
Hmm.
In any case,
Okay.
I don't remember method at all out of these the final exam, which pull my memory. But
Well, it's, you know,
the
it's not super important, I guess.
yeah,
You can pick up on stuff as you go.
yeah, the fight itself though, I think this is like the big arc out of this short season. Uh, Really awesome. Like the way that they match up, and the way that she tried to help our girl to lift off the frost, the mist.
The fog.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. The way they like they do the teamwork and that.
All right. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I didn't
Yeah,
enjoy it really.
No, all right.
Yeah, I you know how characters in this show are very stoic and they almost never like raise their voice or widen their eyes
Yep, yep,
or
yep,
anything.
yep,
They
yep.
mostly just talk in very, you know, somber tones like this to each
Yeah.
other most of the time.
Uh-huh.
The fact that Frieren and Fern continued to talk to each other that way, even as like the demons were raining down mana beams from the sky as they were pinned down. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, I didn't feel any like tension or any worry for their well-being or anything. It was just like a matter of course that they were gonna beat the demons. So everything to do with the fact like the two demon higher ups or whatever who they were fighting in that forest with all the fog, I was like, meh, whatever. I just couldn't get excited about it or involved in it or anything because all the characters like in that in those scenes in particular, it really felt like there was a mismatch between the characters' energy and the near death experience that they were having.
Right, right. Yeah, we never really uh, feel that they are in danger in any time, and maybe that intentional, but yeah, I totally feel you about that.
Well, it has to be intentional, right? Because the characters
Yeah,
talk that way pretty much all the time, so it must be a conscious decision.
yeah, doesn't matter, like
I
um, I'm not faced in any of the danger that the demon come at me.
right. Well, I mean, Frieden is one thing. She's lived so long; she's seen it all.
Mm.
But Fern also acting that way, I'm like, you're like 18 or 19 or something.
Yeah,
You you need to be fearing for your life because you have a lot more life to live, even if you're not an elf. You got a long ways to go. And I mean, there's also the issue of like Stark swinging his axe around against crazy monsters and demons and dragons and all sorts of shit. And Frieden just like whenever he gets injured, Frieden just patches him up. with magic. But specifically in their party, they don't have a priest
Yeah.
who plays the role of healer.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be something that they're lacking.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Stark just goes crazy.
Get up.
Yeah, he gets.
He do the push up.
That's right. Yeah, you see him using like one hand to do a handstand and impress like kids
Yeah.
whenever they come to a new town.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean the combat just looks so awesome. So you can't knock the show on that level.
Yeah.
The fight against Revolte, or however you pronounce his name, like the demon general with the 4 swords and the mask over his face and everything,
Yeah.
was crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's his face, Genao, having those like magical wings,
Yeah.
and all the scenes where they're like going airborne and fighting each other and like cutting through the sky really fast and all that.
Yeah.
Incredible. But I never feel as though the characters are in any sort of danger.
Yeah. And also, I think this is the thing that we talk about in the first episode, first season. But the show hold, or Frieren in particular, hold a really strong opinion against the demon. You know, like I think there was some episode in the first season where Frieren just say that they demon are lies, that what their natures are multiple times. So
Right.
and I think I raised the question like whether or not Frieren or even like the hero of the shows thinking of the demon gonna change in some of the event in the future. That's not the case in this second episode, second season, because like everything that the demons say, they just say like, "Oh, I heard about that multiple times. You are bastard. You just like, you get up and just kill people for no reason and all that."
Yeah, that seems to be their role in the story.
Yeah.
They're just a super evil, super intelligent race of enemies
Yeah.
for Freeren's party to defeat.
Yeah.
Perhaps there will be, some evolution in the 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of doubt it, but it is very much going to be about a particular demon general named Macht, who lives in the Golden Land. We hear about him
Yeah.
in that last episode when what are their names, man?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but two of the proctors, 2 of the first class mage examinees or examiners, when they're talking about the fact that Denkin is going off to, like, one of them does a memory transfer.
All right. Yep. Yeah.
So he gains certain memories, and then he walks through the forest and he sees like the Golden Land, which is apparently his hometown, and there's there's a demon who's like confined there who rules over it, and they're gonna have to defeat him. So
Yep.
I don't know. I don't even know if Frieren and her party will be involved in that story, because aren't they kind of far away? They're up in the final episode. They're up in some snowy like adventurers camp,
Right.
looking for magical crystals and stuff.
Right.
Whereas Dengen is in like the woods, the forest.
They did mention something about the Golden City, though, right? Oh, when the 3 of them talking about something.
Yes, in episode 9, the episode before that, when they're crossing the lake on a boat.
Right.
The boatsman is talking about the Golden Lake, and Frieren actually
Was about to
we
say
see. Well, it's not that she was about to say something, but we see a thought of hers visualized on screen, and it's that same demon
Right.
with the horns that like curve outward and then inward.
Right.
So she knows.
Yep.
When she hears about the Golden Land, she immediately has that association
Right.
to that particular
Right.
demon. So he's going to play a major role, I guess, in the 3rd season.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we're supposed to think of them as anything more than like evil human slaying machines. But I mean, that is literally the case in this season. Not Revolte, but his assistant, like the younger female demon who tags along with him. She transforms herself into a human to distract, I think, Genau,
Yep.
and
Yep. Yep.
then ends up like stabbing him, because she was like, just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
There are no humans around.
Yep. Yep.
Or maybe it's Stark who she stabs. I can't remember.
No, no, no. She stabbed the other guy because I remember that scene very well. Uh, he was uh, he was not struggling, but he was saying that his previous partner was died because saving some kids. So he made the same
That's
mistake, by
right.
the way. So I think
Right.
that's the point that he had to learn. One more thing that I want to mention is that our group encountered two dwarfs in this season, and each of
Mm-hmm.
them are very different in personality, but also in their mission. Uh, I I don't I don't really like no. So I'm just okay with like the first one where like the whole thing about that dwarf is that he wants to get his hand off the precious wine.
The liquor.
Yeah, sake, and it turned out to be the worst one, the horrible taste. Uh, the second one I feel pretty better. Uh, it's about the dwarf who like build a bridge for 200 years I think, and yeah, and he just wants everyone to get across to know across the bridge. So he asked Frieren to kill the dragons, the flying dragons for him.
Right. Yeah, that was another one of the episodes where it was about the link between Frieden's past journey and her present journey.
Yeah, yeah,
Because dwarfs live long enough that she encountered him the first time,
yeah,
um, and then he had finished the bridge by the time she came back around with Fern and Stark.
yeah. I've
So another
yeah.
Himmel episode indirectly.
Yeah, I feel it pretty well that for him to ask Frieren to like uh as the person who who see the result, and not Essen who is other dwarf around the same age I think, and like why don't ask Essen to come instead of like Frieren who is uh who yeah, an elf in any
I don't
case.
know.
Yeah,
Maybe he just doesn't see race like that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Right. Let's make him so special anyway. That's make the reason why Frieren just think about him every seconds.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little old,
In, yeah,
but it's kind of built into the show's DNA. So what are you gonna do?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the first dwarf story was I thought that was one of the low points of this season, honestly.
Mm.
Like the whole message about, oh well, it's even if the liquor that I was spending my whole life trying to acquire was actually disgusting, it doesn't matter because I had a great time.
Beginning.
You know, I all the work that I did to try to get into that super secret vault was worth it in the end because I was really putting my mind towards something. I like, what? Dude, you wasted all that time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Your life's ambition was a lie.
yeah. I
Uh,
Yeah, I think uh for F and dwarf, like 100 years just or even more, it's just like a click of time. So they gonna move on.
I guess.
Just like 1 or 2 years in human time.
No way it's that. No way it's 100 to 1 or 100 to 2.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how old Frieden is. Have we learned? Is she like 1,000 or something?
Yeah, well, I think we learned at some point. Yeah, I'm not sure. She very old.
Yeah, she is very old. She refers to herself as an Onesan.
Yeah,
Because there are moments where Stark will be like, I can't think of a specific example right now, but Stark will say something like, there's, I don't even know how to finish this thought. What is it that he says that Frieren sometimes like takes exception to?
Oh,
She's like, oh yeah, he will call her old,
yeah,
and then she'll say, no,
grandma.
there's a young beautiful Onesan right here.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so I guess she's not going to give up the exact specifics of her age
yeah,
easily.
yeah,
And if we did learn already, she's probably not going to repeat it.
yeah. All right, I think that's gonna wrap up our three shows for this season. Is there any other show that you finished for the season, or do you want to spy out until the and catching them up until the end of the year?
So I didn't watch any other um, full-length shows from this season, but I did watch Ganglion.
Ganglion. All right. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
How was it?
but yeah, I don't think anybody really cares about that. That was the only other show that I watched from this season.
Right.
So I'll be doing, as usual, I'll be doing a lot of catch up
Yeah.
towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Gotta.
Did you watch anything
No,
else?
gotta be the same for me as well. But in free time, I think I gonna watch more of it's all sequels. It's a big sequel in the last season. So Jujutsu Kaisen, Oshinoko, um, and Golden Kamuy is the big three.
Mm.
And
Well, more for you. I won't be watching any of that.
yeah, all right. And I think I will try to watch more of Sentenced to be a Hero.
Okay, more for you.
Yeah.
I won't be watching any of that.
All right.
I think the three that we, put our minds toward
Yeah.
were probably the best of the bunch.
Yeah. Well. Oh, and the last season of Pista as well. How do I forget that?
Oh, is the show actually done now,
It's,
or is there going to be a final season, part 3?
I have no idea. I haven't watched the final season part 2, so I can't say. But I think from what I understand, this is gonna be the last one.
I mean, just the fact that you said that out loud means you jinxed it.
Oops. All right. They just say this is the second part of the Pista final season. Oh boy.
Yep, there's going to be more.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
All right.
I guess we're done. We'll be back in a couple weeks with some thoughts on
The new season.
shows from spring 2026.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Until then, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening.